So, you've read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, right? Your mind is probably buzzing with all these new ideas about money. But what now? That's the big question, isn't it? In this explainer, we're going to cut through the noise. We're not just talking inspiration here. We're going to distill that whole philosophy down into a real, concrete path forward. A plan to get you actual results.
And that's the biggest hurdle, you know? It's easy to get fired up after reading something so powerful. You feel like you can take on the world. But what happens a week later, a month later? When that initial buzz wears off, how do you actually turn those big ideas into real, lasting change in your life? Well, that's exactly the puzzle we're going to solve together right now.
All right, let's dive in. First up, we're going to talk about how to get from knowing stuff to, well, actually doing stuff.
This really is the heart of it, isn't it? Getting excited is easy. It's like a shot of adrenaline. But motivation? It's just not built to last. It's a firework, not a furnace. If you want lasting change, you need more than just a quick burst of energy. You need a system, an engine that keeps running even when you're not feeling pumped up. Without that system, the excitement fades and, poof, you're right back where you began.
Okay, so let's build that system. And every good system needs a solid foundation, right? For this, it all comes down to what we'll call the 3 pillars of wealth. Think of this foundation like a 3-legged stool. You've got mindset, rules, and action. And here's the thing about a 3-legged stool. You need all 3 legs. They're all equally important. Take one away, and the whole thing collapses, right? I mean, a brilliant mindset with 0 action, you're just a daydreamer. Tons of action, but the wrong mindset, you're just going to burn out. You absolutely need all 3 working together, perfectly balanced.
So, pillar number 1, mastering your mindset. This is your internal programming, your operating system. Everything starts here. It's about getting over that fear, that little voice of doubt. It's about making that crucial switch in your brain from the shutdown phrase, I can't afford it, to the open-ended, powerful question, okay, how can I afford it? Seriously, your mind is your single greatest asset. Getting it right is the first non-negotiable step on this entire journey.
Pillar 2 is all about understanding the game. And let's be real, money is a game, and you need to know the rules to win. The most important rule? The one rule to rule them all? It's this simple. You have got to know the difference between an asset and a liability. That's it. An asset puts money into your pocket, a liability takes money out. If you can just get that one simple distinction, man, it's like a key that unlocks the entire rest of the game.
And finally, pillar number 3. This is where the rubber meets the road, taking massive, consistent action. Because let's face it, all the knowledge in the world is useless if you don't do anything with it. It's just trivia night fodder. Action means actually doing the things, paying yourself first, really minding your own business by building up that asset column, and always learning new skills. Action is the engine. It's what actually gets you to financial freedom.
Okay, so we've got our pillars. That's our foundation. Now we need the how. We need a practical plan. So let's talk about your 1/3 1 action plan. I want you to think about it like this. If you're going on a big cross-country trip, you need 2 things, right? You need a compass that always points to your final destination, your true north. That's your big philosophy, your why. But a compass alone isn't enough, is it? You also need a roadmap for the next few miles, the next turn. That's your daily and weekly goals. The compass gives you direction. The roadmap tells you what to do right now. You got to have both.
And this is your roadmap. It's called the 1/3 1 framework. And it's so powerful because it's so simple. Here's how it works. You start with one big, exciting 1-year vision. Where do you want to be in a year? Then you break that big vision down into 3 smaller, more manageable monthly milestones. Think of them as checkpoints. And then, here's the magic part, you boil all of that down to just one weekly action. One thing. That's it. This is how you beat that feeling of being overwhelmed and start building real, unstoppable momentum.
Okay, let's walk through an example to make this super clear. Let's say your 1-year vision is to save up your first $5,000 for an investment. Big goal, right? Okay, so what are your 3 monthly milestones? Well, maybe month 1 is just to figure out your budget and find where you can save. Month 2 is to set up automatic transfers to a savings account.
And month 3 is to research and open the right kind of investment account. See? Smaller steps. Now, the most important part. What is your one action for this week? It could literally be as simple as download a budgeting app on my phone. And just like that, we've taken a huge dream and turned it into a 5-minute task you can do today. That's the power of this.
So now we have our foundation and our plan. But there's a deeper layer to all this, something really important to understand. Let's zoom out for a second and talk about why the path you're on is actually the real goal. Just take a second and really let that idea sink in. The money, the houses, the investments, that stuff isn't the real prize. It's not. It's just a byproduct. It's a symptom of something much more valuable. The real reward is the person you have to become to get there. It's the personal transformation that happens along the way.
I mean, just think about it for a second. To actually do this stuff, you can't just be the same person you are today. The process itself forces you to grow. You have to become more courageous to take calculated risks. You have to become more disciplined to save instead of spend. You have to become wiser by constantly learning new things. And you even have to become more influential so you can lead and persuade. You are literally forging a stronger, smarter version of yourself with every step.
So here's the bottom line. All that money and all those assets, that's just the scoreboard. It's just numbers that tell you if you're winning the game. But it's not the game itself. The real prize, that's the courage, the discipline, the wisdom you gained along the way. You can chase the scoreboard your whole life and still feel empty. But if you chase the goal of becoming a better person through this process, that's a kind of wealth that money could never, ever buy.
All right, we've talked philosophy, we've talked plans, we have the foundation and the roadmap. Now, everything, and I mean everything, boils down to one simple thing. Your first step.
This whole massive journey to financial freedom, it doesn't start with a giant leap. It doesn't start with a 10-point plan for tomorrow. It starts with one. Just one. A single, small, totally doable first step. That's it. That's the start line.
So, I'm going to leave you with a direct question. Forget about next year for a second. Forget about next month. Using that 1/3-1 framework we talked about, what is your one weekly action? What is the single concrete thing you're going to get done this week to start moving down this path? Figure it out, say it out loud, and then go do it. That is your path forward.